Okay, welcome back to Live with Loyalty. Um, yes, I'm finna do this one on my boy Red Fox because I used to grow up on Red Fox in the house with my dad. I have two comedians that I love dearly, and that's Red Fox and Bernie Mac. Like these people, these two comedians will tell it like it is, you know. And I talk about getting a laugh out of me. They definitely could get a laugh out of me because literally Bernie Mac literally acts like my mom. Like seriously, my mom is like the gay. I'm sorry, like the comedian Bernie Mac. You know, and my dad, he was like, you know, he acted a lot like he's like a comedian. You know, my mama funny like that, and my daddy funny like that. I'm telling you, they'll give you some laughs. I'm serious. I mean, they be on point with their jokes, but I really could not stand when he passed away. But you know, it's always both of them at that. But this particular live video is about Red Fox, you know, and I also watched the Royal Family with Red Fox and Ms.Reese in it, as we call her. And when he was on there, I did not know all this happened, y'all. I did not know all this happened. Meanwhile, I'm sitting up here like, these are my favorite comedians, you know. Um, and being Red Fox being one of those, especially when that's what we grew up off, a lot of comedy in our household. So to keep from crying, you're laughing, you know, and he kept us laughing. So I want y'all to listen to this, like, because it's just crazy to me. Let's listen to Ms.Reese. Um, she played in the show the Raw Family, and I love the Raw Family. I still watch it rerun after rerun after rerun every day, every night. So just listen to her on this. This man wanted, as some people do, to present himself as some of my best friends are black. I know a lot about black people, and I've been with black people all my life, which is very offensive in its connotation. Very offensive. If you did and you like them, why do you have to pull that out? You don't come in and you say, I knew some Spanish people, I knew some Irish people, I knew some English. You don't do that. People are people. And so that friction ran between them. And he was always trying to tell Red how to be funny. That is so stupid for him to have approached that. And he approached it with, I'm one of the producers, and I can tell you how to be funny if I want to. And Red was saying, you don't even know funny, so you can't tell me something you don't even know. And that was the undercurrent all the time. This particular day, Entertainment Tonight came to interview Red, and so we're rehearsing a scene, and all Red had to do was walk across the back of my chair. We're not shooting, we're rehearsing a scene. And of course, they sent someone to walk back. And this man says, "Where is Red?" And I said, "He's having an interview with Entertainment Tonight." I said, "But he doesn't have any lines here. He just has to walk. If he's supposed to walk past, he should be in here to walk past." So he goes in there, stops their shooting, and brings Red out. And when Red gets out there and finds out all he has to do is walk across the back of this that anybody could have done, he becomes livid and he falls. Well, he was always doing pratfalls. And I thought that's what he did. Everybody thought that's what he did. And he was laying on the floor, and I leaned down to him, and I put my hands on him. He said, "Get my wife, get my wife. Get my wife, get my..." I said, "Somebody get paramedics and somebody go get Mrs. Foxx." And they went and got her. And they pronounced him, and they put him in the ambulance. And We all got in our cars and followed him to the hospital, and he came back and stayed for 4.5 hours. Now we're all sitting in the lobby of the hospital, and the doctor comes out and says, Mrs. Foxx, we've done all that we can do, and your husband is gone. And standing this close were two of the producers, and they said, what are we going to do with this script? This script was written for Red and Della. So who are we going to get? Who's going to replace? She's sitting right here. They just told her. And I went crazy. I went absolutely insane on everybody. And got in my car and left. And I made up my mind in that car on the way home that I wasn't ever going to do television that way again, because if something happened to me and they treated my husband and my daughter that way, I'd have to come back. And once I go, I don't want to come back. They never did treat him with the respect that he should have been, should have had. He should have had a right out of the show, but instead they stuck Jack Hay in there. And she's a wonderful comedian, but that was not the time nor the place for her to be. They just reached out and got her and sat her in there. And he never got the treatment he needed. He was not phased out of it, like he didn't get an accident or didn't get sick or something. And so he was no longer in it. Just one day he was there and one day he wasn't. Like, wow, you guys. The way they treat people. I couldn't, like me personally, I cannot do my elderly like that. Like, I don't have that heart for anybody, but to me, it's something special. It's very special about our elderly and their history, and knowing that they still here and they have done their purpose here after they shall pass away, like they've done their time, but to get treated like that here on earth, no. I mean, that made me so upset. I never knew that story was like that. So this is where he passed away. So let me give it to you like this. All right, this is the story. The one of the producers, he had so he was having an interview. Red Fox was having an interview. So he thought he was finished with all his lines and everything like that, but all he needed to do was just walk past the screen, and the man could have waited. The producer could have waited for that. Seriously, he could have waited for that. All he had to do was walk past the screen, right? So Della's like, he's in an interview, Della, you know, with the one I shoot you in your pinky toe. She was talking to Eddie Murphy. What Eddie? Who is that? Yeah, Eddie Murphy. Did Eddie Murphy shoot her in the pinky toe? That's the one. That's the one I'm talking about. Della Reese. And so she told him he's in an interview, and like this is an important interview. So the producer walks in there, takes some out of there. Obviously, he's white. Take somebody and tell him to come do it. And he was in. Red Fox got mad, so obviously he had a heart attack, and like Della Reese said, they pronounced him unalive then, but they shipped him off to the hospital. Everybody went to the hospital, and he was like, call my wife, and Della called the ambulance, and she told them to get his wife. So the wife went to the hospital, and they said he was still alive for like 4 hours, but then the doctors come out and say, we did all we can do, and unfortunately your husband has passed away. So you got the producers on the side talking about, well, Who's gonna finish our role? That role was for Della and Foxx, Red Fox. Are you serious? This lady, his wife, just got the word that her husband has passed away. And y'all are still talking about a show. And that's when Della was like, I would never do TV shows or stuff like that no more in my career, because that was heartbreaking. She said she went off. That was ridiculous for you to do that and not have no type of sympathy. Are you serious? I mean, had no remorse for the woman that's right there that's probably crying and hurting over her husband passing away. She just got the worst news of her life, and you still worried about a show. And the show is the reason why he's not here. That's the crazy thing. You could have waited. You could have waited. This is why I become so sensible to the people and the surroundings and who I deal with. Because it's people out there that don't give two shits about you. You gotta know who you dealing with. I don't care, in your career, in your life, period. Like, this was this is sad because I have seen this man just put his best foot forward in his comedy career. He was an awesome comedian. Like I said, we grew up on him. For them to treat him like that, this is how they was really treating him. Most of all, what I'm mad about, that's how he passed away. No, no. I knew he passed away, y'all, but they treated him like that. It's not unfamiliar for them to treat us like that. But at the same time, man, did you really have to do that? I'm sitting up here thinking that man could have still been here today, possibly. If you wouldn't have did that. You made him angry. You scared the mess out of him, thinking it was something serious, and it wasn't. It could have waited. I don't blame Ms.Reese for not want to deal with people like that in her career, because no. Mm-mm. But I want to know what y'all think. Did y'all know this went on too? Please comment on this. Was he part of your household too growing up? Do you watch the Royal Family? If not, you can watch him here on YouTube too, because that's where I watch him at, or on Tubi. I know a lot of people don't like Tubi, but I do, and it has shows just like the Royal Family that I love so much. It brings back, that time when family was together, and you watch that type of stuff together, and real true comedy, real true comedy. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you comment. Let me know, did you watch Red Fox too? Also, did you watch Bernie Mac? Who's your favorite comedian? All right, I'm out, you guys. Thank you once again.